Place the DeltaTray Thames onto the floorboards and mark out the tray perimeter. When setting out the position of the tray, it is important to remove the floorboards past the edge of the tray and back to the center of the next joist. If the drain position of the tray conflicts with a joist or other obstruction, the tray sides can be trimmed to alter the drain position. For detailed information on maximum trimming dimensions, please refer to the instructions provided with the tray. With the tray position marked out, the floorboards can now be removed. Following the markings on the floor, cut through the floorboards using an electric saw. Check that the saw blade is set to the correct depth to avoid damaging existing joists, pipework or electrical cables that may be concealed below the floorboards. A drain fitting aid and drain body must be positioned within the joists to align with the drain opening of the tray. You will need to construct a suitable platform to support this assembly. The support platform must be positioned at the correct depth so that the drain fitting aid finishes flush with the top of the joist. Securely fix 50 mm by 25 mm timber battens between the floor joists using screws and glue. Then fix a 25 mm thick marine plywood supporting base onto the battens. 25 mm thick plywood must be used throughout installation of the DeltaTray. The drain fitting aid is designed to be cut so that it fits securely between the floor joists. Cutting the drain fitting aid will allow the drain position to be altered so that it aligns correctly with the position of the drain aperture within the tray. Once the platform is installed, place the drain fitting aid and drain body into position. Using 1.5-inch ABS fittings, fix the waste pipe into the drain body using a good solvent weld adhesive. It is important at this stage to check the connection for leaks, as you may not be able to return to this assembly at a later date. Placing the stainless steel cover plate over the void in the drain fitting aid is necessary to support the DeltaTray and also allows essential free movement of the drain body for the secure connection to the DeltaTray. With the drain body and waste route now installed and tested, a structural platform to support the DeltaTray can be fitted. DeltaTray is not designed to span across joists. Therefore, it is essential that the entire base of the DeltaTray is supported by a structurally stable surface. This is achieved by securely fixing 50 mm by 25 mm timber battens, set 25 mm below the top of the joists. The battens should be fixed using glue and screws to the supporting joists. With the battens secured, a 25 mm thick plywood support platform must be placed between the joists to support the entire base of the DeltaTray. The 25 mm plywood support platform should be screw fixed to the 50 mm by 25 mm timber battens and should finish flush with the top of the floor joists. With the structural platform complete, it is important to check the alignment of the drain body and the drain aperture in the DeltaTray. Make sure they are perfectly aligned and, if necessary, adjust accordingly. The DeltaTray should now fit onto the newly created platform, but sit slightly proud of the remaining floor area. Depending on the DeltaTray thickness, the height difference between tray and the surrounding floorboards can vary. This difference will be made level at a later stage by fixing Delta board over the surrounding floor area. During preparation of the floor area, excess floorboards may have been removed back to the next joist center. This area should be backfilled using floorboards, plywood or Delta board of the same thickness as the floorboards that have been removed. With the installation of the supporting platform fully prepared and all checks complete, the DeltaTray can now be permanently fixed in place using a good quality, cement-based, rapid-setting, flexible tile adhesive. Apply the adhesive with a thick bed-notched trowel to the area where the DeltaTray is to be placed. Make sure the adhesive is applied over the stainless steel cover plate. When applying the adhesive around the drain, it is important to leave a 10 mm gap between the adhesive and the main rubber seal of the drain body. Should adhesive come into contact with the rubber seal, remove immediately and clean thoroughly before continuing. With care, place the DeltaTray into the adhesive. Make sure the rubber seal of the drain remains firmly seated on the drain body. Apply moderate pressure to the entire surface of the tray and around the drain aperture, making sure there are no hollow spots beneath the tray. Using a spirit level, make sure the DeltaTray is perfectly flat and level around its perimeter. If the DeltaTray is set out of level, water will not flow to the drain correctly. Using the securing tool supplied with the drain body, screw the threaded waste collar into the drain body before the adhesive hardens. Make sure to fully tighten this assembly to ensure a watertight seal is achieved between the drain body and the tray. The securing tool should be left within the drain body at this stage to protect against debris falling into the drain during tiling and grouting. With the DeltaTray fixed into the adhesive, the surrounding floor area can now be overlaid with Delta board. It is very important that the existing floorboards are securely fastened to the joists. Any movement in the floorboards must be made stable before overlaying with Delta board. If the Delta board is to be installed using a dry fix method, PCS washers and screws should be positioned at approximately 200 mm centers. It is important to use the correct length of screw to avoid damaging pipework or electrical cables that may be concealed below the floorboards. The boards should be positioned in a brick bond fashion to stagger joints and checked to ensure there are no hollow spots beneath the boards. Hollow spots can be corrected by adding additional PCS washers and screws. If using a cement-based adhesive to fix the Delta board, the existing floor surface should be primed with a suitable floor primer. Apply a solid bed of adhesive using a thick bed-notched trowel and firm down the Delta board into the adhesive bed. During installation, check to ensure all boards are fitted level. With the DeltaTray and Delta board securely fixed, waterproofing of the joints can begin. We highly recommend that all the walls within the shower area are lined with Delta board, creating a completely insulated waterproof environment ready for the application of tiles. Apply a 5 mm bead of Delta Seal where the DeltaTray meets the walls and also at internal angle wall joints within the shower zone. Using a suitable brush or roller, apply a thin coat of PCS waterproofing paste, no thicker than 0.5 mm over all joints to be sealed. The special pre-mixed paste is designed to be applied sparingly, so avoid applying this paste in heavy layers. The paste should be applied approximately 25 mm wider than the waterproofing fleece tape. Bed the fleece tape into the wet paste, starting with the prefabricated corner tape first. Make sure that no air pockets remain under the tape. For all remaining joints, cut the fleece tape to the required length, allowing the tape to overlap any previously fitted tape by a minimum of 50 mm. Make sure that where the tape overlaps, that it is bedded into a layer of wet paste. When the first coat of paste has dried, approximately 10 minutes, a second and final coat of paste must be applied over the taped joints to complete the waterproofing. It is important that all screw fixings within the shower area are also made waterproof by applying the tape and waterproofing paste. Your fully waterproof wet room is now ready for the application of tiles.